All right, let's go. Hot take.
Hot take. Okay. Between Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker, who is the better big match performer?
Belts make your bag heavy. If you ain't getting paid extra to be the champion, belts make your bag heavy. Who's right? Who's wrong? Put it in the comments and let's hear your thoughts.
Y'all better agree with me or I will delete every last one of you.
Another day, another dollar as I holler to the world. I love the way I'm living, love the Gucci, love the girls, love the parties and the clubs, love the models and hot tubs, love the German engineering set on deep dish dubs. Another tour around the world, entertaining the fans. I love walking through the airport, taking pictures, shaking hands. Every day for me's an oyster, crack it open, find a pearl. I love the way I live is what I holler to the world.
Welcome back to Marking Out with Kendall Starks and Stephon Brown.
Yeah, Kendall Starks. Don't know about that. That's how it's supposed to be. So my international man of mystery passport and that safety deposit box with that extra passport, the $10,000 the $10,000 in cash, the 10,000 British pounds, and the 10,000 euros in bundles. You don't know about that life.
That sounds like a double O?
No, I'm not a double O. Because you know how I'm not a double O? Because there's a lot of people still living. If I had a license to... I recently saw a meme. My buddy Billy Fives, shout out to the OG Billy Fives. He sent it to me. And it said, if the doctors told me that I had 6 months left to live, a lot of y'all that had 5 days left to live.
Checking off this list real quick.
Yeah. But Kendall Starks, that's me.
Yeah. And if there's any women out there that have children by Stephon Brown, I'm his twin brother, Dwayne Swayze. It's not the kid.
I've been waiting for a little Blackanese kid to show up.
Daddy?
Masahiro Assad hasn't showed up yet. Not yet. No, I can say with confidence, there are no little Blackanese MVPs out there. I can say with confidence.
10-4. 10.
I know. I know for a fact. Okay. What are we doing today, man?
Man, wanna ask you something before we get to business. A proud dad check, VIP.
Yes.
Vontavious Imperial Porter, your son.
My little boy.
Competed in his first jiu-jitsu tournament. So
Yes.
I want to ask you how'd he do and if you learned anything about him by watching him compete, man.
Dude, this was one of my proudest daddy days so far. We went to NAGA, not to be confused with MAGA, North American Grappling Association. I quit wearing the NAGA t-shirts.
From a distance.
Yeah, from a distance, it looks too close. The first jiu-jitsu tournament that I ever competed in as a white belt with no stripes was a North American Grappling Association tournament, NAGA. And I double gold. I competed in no gi. I competed in gi and subbed my way to victory. And was super proud. Cost me, a little under a couple $100 because you got to pay to compete in both for the equivalent of maybe a $2 medal or something, but it was worth every penny. And then who we are, 12 years later, my offspring, the champion that I sired,
VIP.
Vontavious Imperial Porter, his name that he chose. I found out Friday night when I took him to wrestling practice that there was a NAGA tournament the next day. And I had been telling him when he was ready, I was going to sign him up. And he finished wrestling practice, and he did a double practice because I made him stay for the adult practice because no adults showed up. So, and then after that, I went out there with his coach, Jalen, Professor Asif. We put a loaner gi on him and just went over some final rules so he understood, because Professor Asif is teaching him like high-level subs that he can't use at his age group.
Okay.
Remember, you can't use this kind of choke. You can't do leg locks. You can't just, but he got it. And I told him, okay, man, I signed you up to compete tomorrow. And he was like, really? Cool. He wasn't nervous, wasn't uptight. He was excited. And I signed him up, and he, the first kid he didn't sub because he ran out of time. And the first kid was tough. It was a tough match. But once once Cam got settled in and settled down, he kind of figured out what he was doing, and it was all down here for that kid. And what I was so proud of, more than him winning or losing, and this is what I told him. I said, they have a saying in jiu-jitsu, you either win or you learn. But no, you lose. You learn how to win a silver medal. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like the saying and I understand, but in Cam's case, I told him, I don't care if you win or lose. The fact that you competed is everything. But what I loved was that his composure during the match, he never spazzed out and got excited. The whole time he was listening to me and Professor Kurt Zettelmoyer, champion.
Kurt.
Kurt was with me, because Kurt had other students from the school competing, but you could see Cam calm, listening to what we were telling him to do. And then when he did win, he got up, helped his opponent up, gave him a hug, and, told, hey, good fight. And all his opponents cried when they lost.
Really?
Every single one of those little boys cried. So it's kind of sad. I know it hurts, but like I taught Camden, you don't cry when you lose. There's no crying when you lose. You think about, oh man, next time I'll do better, and you come away from that. And yeah, it sucks to lose, but you don't you cry if your best friend dies, cry if your cat dies, but don't cry because you lost a jiu-jitsu match. Don't cry because you lose a football game. I just different. But these little boys were crying, and Camden, gave him a hug and consoled him and said, hey man, good fight, tough fight,
What's the age range?
10, 11.
Oh, okay.
And Camden was from 70 to 79.9.
Okay.
So, but this next tournament, I'm going to put him in at 80 to 89 because he'll probably gain a few pounds. He's growing. So he'll probably be over 80 pounds by February because I got him in another one coming up. But yeah, Naga used to give like the cheap Chinese katana swords. That was, for the kids. But something happened. They don't have them anymore, but now they have like mini belts. And several years ago, I competed in a NAGA World Championship in Dallas when I was a purple belt. And I went up against... Now, NAGA isn't like IBJJF, which is the governing body. So NAGA will play with the rules a little bit, and that if you're signed up in your division and you don't have anybody signed up in your division, if you're willing to go up in competition or up in weight class, they'll let you, just so you can get a match. So there was a black belt who was my age and weight, but had nobody in his division. So they're like, if you want to go up against a black belt, we give a man. I was like, I can't fight, sure, So he beat me in no-gi, but I pulled my hamstring. And he got the takedown in the final seconds. So all right, no problem. But I was going to pull because I had a bad hamstring, and I still had to wrestle. I was still working in the Indies at the time. And my romantic interest at the time, who I was dating, she said, you should give it a shot, though. And, she kept trying to encourage me to do it. She said, yeah, but what if you win? And I thought that reverberated in my head, like, what if I won? What if I at purple belt beat this black belt? And in gi, I beat the black belt.
Damn.
I beat him with a pulled hamstring. And it was cool because he, unfortunately for him, didn't like the referee's decision and was on the mat very embarrassingly vocal about it. He was screaming, you got to be kidding me. It was bad. It was a bad look. And I understand his frustration, but I understood the rules a little better than he did. And I went up to the podium when he won and took my second place. And then my romantic interest at the time, she was a Marine and he was a Marine. So they were talking and she kind of told him, hey, he took his L and went up there with you. Are you going to be there when he goes? And there's a picture of me with my NAGA championship belt, with my purple belt, and him with his black belt with his head down. Like he didn't want to be there, but he did the right thing. Okay. And it was huge for me because, my school, my professor, Andre and Kurt, they posted it like our purple belts are out here beating black belts, so it was a crazy thing for me because now I had an unscripted championship title. Unscripted. Right. A NAGA world champion.
Yeah.
And so at this tournament, my son just had an amazing weekend. his composure, his sportsmanship, his attitude was beautiful. And then when we took a picture with his, because they got little youth belts now. So I'm very good friends with the Bailey family who helped run NAGA. And they allowed me to get one of the championship belts so I could pose with him with our belts. Because I didn't have mine with me, but they let me have one of the adult belts. And I explained to Camden, hey, man, I want a championship belt. Now you got one too. We're both champions together. I said, this is the first of many. And he was thrilled. And he was so nonplussed. He was so chill. Like when he won, after he won his matches in no-gi. And he goes, all right, Dad, do you have another match? I said, no, that's it. You won. He goes, I won the belt? I said, yeah. I said, oh, okay. So how long till I'm in gi? I said, man, you got about 2 hours. He goes, oh, okay. Can I go play basketball?
So he hoops in.
Yeah, we're in a sports complex. Yeah, the kids are over there playing basketball.
Shout out, Cam.
Yeah, no one over there was hooping it up. Then I came and got him about 30 minutes before his match. I said, come on, Cam, you got to go. He put his gi on. And I said, all right, man, you want to loosen up? You want to warm up? He said, no. And he just sat down and leaned back against the thing. He was just chilling. I said, you sure you don't want it? He goes, no, I'm okay, Daddy. I said, okay. He got up and then went and stepped on the mat. Yo, he had a lateral drop on this one kid. Oh, my God. It was picture perfect. You heard a gasp from the... Man, he took that kid... That kid got frequent flyer miles.
Oh,
it was beautiful.
Dang.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Right on.
And then at the last picture, he took the kid's back and he got a rear naked choke. And I posted it. I was able to get a picture of him. This kid, his face is turning red. And Camden's behind him with this pleasant smile. He's just pleasantly wrecking shop. He's not excited, he's not being a dick. He's just like, man, I love this. This is great. And I told him, okay, you're on the winner's side today, but in the future, you're going to be on the other side. You ready for that? He goes, yeah, I'm ready for it, Daddy. He said, you win or you learn, right? I said, okay. Right.
You win or you learn.
You win or you learn.
Man.
So that's how I spent my weekend. Little grappling.
I know Kurt also has to feel some specialness inside here, Professor Kurt.
Yeah, of course, man.
To coach you, and then now your son's a double champion too.
Yeah, and me and Kurt came up together. I was a white belt when he was a blue belt.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. But Professor Andre was the one who taught me and Kurt.
10-4.
And Professor Andre commented on it, congratulations, champion like his dad, following me.
That's special.
And Andre was the one I said, I want to win a world championship. I believe I could do it. And he said, no, you can do it. I believe in you. And I'll never forget when I won IBJJF Masters Worlds at purple belt. That's when I got promoted to brown belt. And afterwards, I was sitting just kind of soaking it up. And Andre kind of came over and gave me like one of those tackle hugs. He goes, mission accomplished. And he said one day, if you go by Champions BJJ, you go to the trophy cases, a significant amount of some of those medals and a couple of those belts are mine. I helped build that trophy case. And for a long time, I used to tell Andre, I want to win a world championship. And he said, you can do it. And I remember one day we were looking at the trophy case and he said, you are my best chance to win a world championship. I said, no pressure. But I delivered.
Right on.
Because he was an amazing teacher, awesome coach, was there for everything. And now Kurt, inherited those things that we all did, we got something going on over at Champions BJJ.
Right. You guys want to check out the behind the scenes video where P actually gives a full tour of the facility and Cam pops up too, man.
Yeah. So, man, that's almost like a whole segment already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's time for some wrestling.
Let's talk some wrestling. Now do that little thing where it goes.
Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and share.
Let me repeat that. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Speaking of sharing, before you go any further, Elijah Craig, Toasted Barrel.
Oh, yeah.
This is my first time ever having Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel. I've had Elijah Craig before. I also have Elijah Craig, a bottle that was given to me as a gift from our good friend Chad Hauser at Memento. Cafe Momentum.
Yeah.
In Dallas. And, but first sip right here. Toasted Barrel. Let's see what we got here. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Toasted Barrel, Elijah Craig. Okay.
No cinnamon.
Not at all. have you drink whiskey flavored whiskey around these parts. All right. It's funny. I was watching. I just started watching Deadwood.
What's that?
It's a series on HBO about the mining camp in Deadwood, in South Dakota, the city where Wild Bill Hickok got shot. Dead man's hand. Do you know history? No.
Nope.
Mining town, Indian territory. No. All right. Anyway.
Nope.
I just noticed like in these old westerns where everyone's drinking whiskey, and they're drinking whiskey all day. Hey, have a drink with me. And that shit wasn't smooth. That shit wasn't age 12, 15, 18. Yeah. Came out the still probably like 3 weeks ago. They're drinking rat gut whiskey, I'm sure, But anyway, it just made me think about it. But what are we talking about, man?
Man, so speaking of championships, I wanted to ask you about the Intercontinental Championship, the IWGP Intercontinental
IWGP Intercontinental Championship.
Yes. So when you became the inaugural IWGP Intercontinental Champion, New Japan presented you that title.
Hi.
Do you have that title?
Very interesting story about the IWGP Intercontinental Championship. When I agreed to start doing business with Shin Nihon Pro-Res, New Japan Pro Wrestling, they had just commissioned the new IWGP Intercontinental title. And they decided at that time, with the timing, that they were going to do a tournament to decide who the inaugural champion would be. Mm-hmm. And it was me that they chose, which from a business standpoint, I thought was a pretty solid idea. MVP, just coming from WWE, two-time U.S. champion, would give some prestige to that title. And then I could go on to, and we talked about that before, where, somebody has to make the title, and then the title can make people. So New Japan came to the United States and did a tour of the Northeast, New Jersey. The final round was, as a matter of fact, the first match was in New Jersey, where I beat a young man by the name of Okada, Kazuchika. Yeah, he was a young lion then. And then in New York, the next night, I beat some guy named Naito. Yeah, exactly. Still a young lion. And the third night at the old ECW Arena, I think it's now called the 2200 Arena, Philadelphia, I beat Toru Yano. And I was the first ever IWGP Intercontinental Champion. I don't remember how long I held it. I think I defended it once or twice, maybe. I don't remember exactly. But then I dropped it to Masato Tanaka.
Oh, okay.
At pretty sure it was at Ryogoku, the sumo arena. And I was very honored to be a part of Japanese wrestling history. But after I left New Japan, the title was established. People like Shinsuke Nakamura had it. I believe Tanahashi had it. Naito had it again. Oddly enough, Naito was very disrespectful to the belt for some reason. He would throw it on the floor and toss it, and it got all banged up. I don't remember what the whole angle was, why he was doing that. There was something about it. I don't recall. And then they reconfigured the title and commissioned a new one where it looked like a smaller version of the IWGP heavyweight title. Okay. They put it on a white belt. When Shinsuke Nakamura first held the IWGP Intercontinental title, he called it the Senyen belt.
Senyen.
Yeah, because it looks like Senyen, the amount of yen, it looks like a little, like a penny. And the IWGP Intercontinental title is like a bronze color. Mm-hmm. So I'm sorry, not the Senyen, 10 yen.
10 yen.
10 yen. He called it the 10 yen belt because Japanese dimes look like kind of large pennies, the color. And nobody knows what happened to the original IWGP Intercontinental title. It's missing. Once they recommissioned the new one, I don't know where the new one is. I think they have it, but the original IWGP Intercontinental 10 yen belt is missing. I'm guessing some lucky collector has it hidden away in his personal collection and isn't talking about it.
That person's not you? He's not sitting here with me?
No, I wish I had. I do have the United States Championship.
Oh.
I can bring that in
Yeah, we
sometime.
gotta
I have
bring-
the actual United States Championship
We got to bring that
that
in.
I won from Chris Benoit and that Matt Hardy won from me, and that I won back from Shelton, and the one that Booker T held. You know, it's got the lineage. That United States Championship I actually physically own and possess. But for our purposes here today, what I do have
Oh man.
is a very particular set of skills. So the company that made the actual IWGP Intercontinental Championship, I got to get with them, man. It's kind of falling apart here a little more. I got to talk to you guys about this.
That's why what makes me think that this is the one that was getting tossed around.
No, because that one, the plate cracked and everything, they banged it up. Yeah. But this belt, what's the name of the company? I'm so sorry, guys. I apologize to you. But the company that actually made the original IWGP Intercontinental Championship belt reached out to me and offered to commission one for me in exchange for some ring gear. Some actual ring worn MVP gear. So I said, yeah, that's a hell of a deal. Absolutely. So I gave them some options. They picked out the one that they wanted, and I sent it to them. But they sent me this first. I've been around a while. And when I received this, then I sent them this. But it was all good business, very pleasant to deal with. And again, I apologize. God, this is so embarrassing. But this is a replica of the original IWGP Intercontinental belt. However, it's made by the people who made the original.
Right.
So for all intents and purposes, if I never told you, I could tell you that this is it, and nobody would know. But this was the original style with the lion's mark up there and the continents and everything. And yeah, this is my Japanese championship title, and one that I'm exceptionally proud of. And I keep it on display in my house because it was always a dream for me to wrestle in Japan.
Yeah.
And to win a championship, to be a championship title holder in Japan was
Number one.
the first ever. And legacy in Japan, legacy matters. You know, who the belt, like the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, they got little tags on it for who held the belt. Mm. So on the sides, the plates there, you've got everybody that ever held the belt. So Benoit's on there, Liger's on there, like, oh God, what's his name? A who's who of the junior heavyweights that held it. So it went from me to Masato Tanaka, and from Masato Tanaka, I don't even know. How about you leave it in the comments below if you know?
Yeah.
It was either Tanahashi or Shinsuke. And
Pete, Mercedes spoiled me weeks ago. Can I please have this? Or just hold on to it for just a few minutes. The champion's prerogative.
Champion's prerogative.
Thank you, sir. Oh, man. This is amazing.
It's a little piece of history.
Yeah, and heavy, man.
That's why I say all the time, yeah, when you're young and you start off in the business, you want those belts because it feels good, and then you realize as you get a little older and your teeth get a little longer, as they say, belts make your bag heavy. If you ain't getting paid extra to be the champion, belts make your bag heavy. No, but it's cool. It's one of my highest honors, and I will forever be grateful to New Japan Pro Wrestling for choosing me to carry their IWGP Intercontinental, to be the first champion to carry that belt.
Did the significance, get to you in real time?
You know when it hit me even more so? When, at the time, yeah, because I won it in the old ECW arena. So there's that, Yeah. I had no idea that Okada and Naito would go on to be IWGP champions. And, I knew they were going to be great stars, but I didn't know that they were going to be, I didn't know Okada was going to go on to be the new ace, But I think when it really, really hit me, was when I was in Rivera Steakhouse and I brought the belt, and the owner wanted to take pictures of me with the belt. And I know there's a photograph of me on the wall at Rivera Steakhouse, which is why I say I'm already in the Hall of Fame. but I'm pretty sure there's a picture of me with the IWGP Intercontinental Championship on the wall at Rivera Steakhouse.
Amazing, man.
That's, for me, that's everything.
Yeah.
So I told Cam, I don't know what his first championship belt in pro wrestling is going to be, but before we get there, he's going to rack up a whole bunch of legitimate, unscripted championships along the way.
Right on.
But yeah, that's that may as well be it. I'm just going to start telling people that's it.
Yeah. Why not?
Who would know? Why would you doubt me, right? I don't lie. Ever.
On the mic, what cheap heat topic should wrestlers avoid because it can damage the character or create real locker room problems?
So wrestling has changed so much throughout the years. There was a time, especially, really not that long ago, I'll give an example, but you had like openly racist characters like Fritz von Erich. You had Colonel De Beers, who was South African. They would say not racist, and it was not okay, but for the time, you had one of the greatest political gimmicks of all time, Iron Sheik, and tag team of Iron Sheik and Russian. Gosh, man, why can't I think of his name right now? It's killing me. Nikolai Volkov. Iron Sheik, Nikolai Volkov. Don't say USA #1, hot free. Iran, Russia #1. That was the whole, and this was during the height of the Cold War and Ayatollah Khomeini. So it was politics to the point that they had to be careful because people really used to be out to get them because they, back then we thought it was real. Times have changed. People have changed. I think racist characters now, they're not good for you. And, people know I always go in on Triple H and how I don't like him or respect him, but if you look at that promo that he cut on Booker T going into WrestleMania, it was just overt racism. I don't know why anybody would, especially in the modern times, would want to present their character as an overt racist. I don't know what that does for you, and especially in these modern times in terms of heat, when we all know it's entertainment. It makes me wonder what motivates you to, I don't know. I just think that doesn't go well. And now today, in today's age, politics and religion. Two things they say don't talk about. Cheap heat topics. Vince famously wanted to stay away from politics because you're going to alienate one half of your audience. If you're a, big right-wing Republican and you want to do that as a face or a heel, the other half of your audience is going to see you as the opposite,
Right.
No matter what. Religion, if you want to come out as a heel that, Vince used to do it all the time, his match against God, and Vince was an atheist. He hated God, hated the whole concept of God.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That Vince was an atheist.
Yeah, that was his thing. He had to look it up. He had a match against God. Just to show this, the silliness of the concept of God in his opinion. So in terms of cheap heat, it takes more talent and intelligence to come up with a topic that's going to get people mad at you that isn't low-hanging fruit like racism and politics. It's my humble opinion that and then, there's always the easy, you just go, this city sucks, your sports teams suck, and, your women are ugly, and people are, that's always safe. And depending on how intelligent and clever you are, you can dress it up. And it's pretty easy to get booed without having to go down that. And, nowadays with the division that we have in our country, politically, socially, these culture wars, you don't want to bring that into the locker room. I think it's so much better to keep politics and religion out of your business, out of our schools, out of our locker rooms, and off TV. I don't think it helps.
What if a younger wrestler already crossed the line, and they've talked about or they've done one of those things? How would they be able to correct it?
Well, it just depends on the reaction that you get. Because if you've already gone out there and you've already done that, and you're getting your reaction, okay, it's out there. If it hasn't hurt you professionally speaking, if it hasn't hurt your tickets at the box office or whatever the case may be, then that's fine. You can course correct. But I just, it doesn't seem to me in this age to be a viable way to get heat. You don't need it, and it doesn't help. It's not going to sell more tickets. More people aren't going to like you. But, I mean, a lot of guys do bring politics into it. And you know, like Brody King wears the Abolish ICE shirt.
Tony Khan had a statement about
that. I think
that.
CM Punk a while back was wearing a T-shirt about women's rights or health rights. So, yeah, you're always going to alienate one side or the other. So it's better to be a heel, and it shows you, to me, your talent and ability if you can make people hate you across the board. Because if you're going in on a political issue, then one side's going to love that you're that, and the other side's going to hate you for it. So figure out something that's going to make everybody hate you. You're just you're a jerk, not aligning yourself with one political ideology or another. And, you know, religion, the same thing. You can, you know, I'm an atheist, and I don't mind talking about it. But for me to come out and on the whole audience because they believe in God, you got a lot of people that are going to be like, yeah, I agree with him. Yeah, there's no God, you know. And a lot of people go, you, man, we believe in God. It's just, to me, it's tacky. I don't think it's necessary. It's my humble opinion. I know a lot of people, a lot of guys who I respect share it with me. Now, there's a difference when you're a heel and you're talking. The worst thing in the world is the heel that's telling the truth. That's hard. God, I hate that guy because he's telling me the truth and I don't like it. And I was saying, which we come into now politics, you know, I said, you know, when our troops wanted Iraqi oil fields, we just went in there and took them. When we wanted Libyan oil fields, we went and just took them. And you called the Americans, when they did that, heroes. But when we go and just take a championship belt, you talk so poorly of us. You make us out to be the bad guys. What's the difference? You know, that was painful, and people hated it because I'm telling you the truth. And it's an uncomfortable truth. It's the elephant in the room, you know. But even then, if I'm running a show and I want to have the largest viewership possible, I would instruct my talent to be creative, be smart, and let's stay away from certain hot buzzy, cheap heat topics, you know. And those are just a few of them that I think that, you know, primarily politics and religion. You know, do people do it? Sure. Does it work sometimes? Sure. But generally speaking, yeah, it's not going to go well in the locker room, and it won't go well for the fandom overall.
You know what? We need some like really cool graphics for this new segment of the show.
New segment alert.
So we're going to do a hot take segment. We got some questions here. I'm going to ask P, and we're both going to give our response. So we're going to give our answer. And if you guys agree with us, or if you agree with me, for example, which you should agree with me because I'm going to always be right.
This guy.
Drop it in the comments. Or if you agree with P, or if you disagree with both of us, and tell us why.
Yeah, I agree, but just put MVP and then why, Swayze, why, or neither one of us. Tell us both. You put why you think your opinion is better than both of ours.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Hot take.
Hot take. Okay. Between Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker, who is the better big match performer and why?
Undertaker, all day long. Undertaker is the biggest big game player. He's had more big games. I'd like to even go to the box office and say that Undertaker has sold out more events than Shawn Michaels. And I've been there to see the big man prepping for the big event, the big match. Undertaker just has an aura and mystique that nobody will ever have that again. That era of wrestling is gone.
It's gone.
It's done with.
I agree with at least that much.
And just something about Taker. There's an intangible there that the dead man is coming. When the lights go out and you hear the gong and there's the slow gong. Listen, let me tell you the timeline. When I was a kid, a young man in wrestling, be in my house with my ex-wife, Sonia. That the lights would go out and that gong would hit in my house. I would get goosebumps.
Yeah.
Fast forward a little bit. I'm in developmental. In developmental, anytime there was a show within 300 miles of developmental, talent had to go. So now to be in the building backstage when the lights go out, gong. Fast forward to be in the ring, 10, 12,000 people in an arena, and then the lights go out, gong. And then you see the dead man come walking down the aisle ever so slowly, and then it hits you. He's coming for me.
Yeah.
Like, whoa. I just always enjoyed The Undertaker's wrestling, more his style. Shawn Michaels, I've never been a Shawn Michaels fan. I know, many people consider him one of the greatest, if not the greatest. For me, Shawn Michaels was just never a believable figure. To me, I don't ever feel that Shawn Michaels could really beat anybody up. His selling was great, but as far as big game player, to me, Shawn Michaels is a Scottie Pippen. Absolutely one of the all-time greats, but you are not the guy.
They're not the okay.
No, to me, the greatest wrestling match of all time is Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker.
Yes.
That is the single greatest match of all time. And in that, I feel The Undertaker made Shawn Michaels step his up.
And that's where I do not agree with you. Undertaker is my absolute favorite of all time. When I went to WrestleMania in, 2008, 9 or whatever, to see you, right? And we don't know each other. 6 months later, we know each other. You guys know the story. To sit there and see that match, I look at it the other way. Shawn Michaels, in my opinion, elevated Undertaker. Undertaker's big match, humongous, Mount Rushmore type guy. But during that feud, those 2 years, the streak to me really becomes the streak because of Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels. And Shawn Michaels, and that main event player that he is, made Undertaker, the legend of Undertaker, grow so much.
Okay, so that's the beauty of pro wrestling. That's what we're supposed to do. When we get in there and have a match, we're supposed to make each other better than what we actually are. And they definitely did that. You got greatness times greatness equals mega greatness. Greatness times greatness equals legendary. I'll go for that. And maybe I'm a little biased because I'm not the biggest Shawn Michaels fan, personally and professionally. I'm just the sexy boy toy guy just never looked like he could really beat anybody up to me. He was never a believable figure to me in terms of being able to beat somebody up. And I like Rey Mysterio versus Undertaker more than Shawn Michaels because Rey Mysterio's a superhero, at least, There's an aura there with the mask and whatnot. I just never bought into Shawn Michaels as somebody who could really beat somebody up. No question, one of the greatest. Showman, the showstopper, all that, like, no question. But when it comes to WrestleMania main events, when it comes to pay-per-view main events, holding it down, carrying the company, Shawn Michaels ain't no.
We've got to get some stats on how many times Shawn Michaels was in the main event of all of these pay-per-views.
And let's look at the money that was drawn.
Okay, we got to go to the bread.
I think that counts. If you're an in-ring performer and you're awesome, people want to pay to see that.
Right on.
If you're that great and people say, oh, you want to talk about, who sold the most records and greatness. All right, that's true. You got some trash out there that moves lots of units that, people pay to see. They like it, Shawn Michaels is not trash.
No.
By any stretch of the imagination. Don't get it twisted. I'm not a fan of the guy, but I'm not saying he's trash. He is one of the greatest. But when it comes to big game player, who's the bigger big game player of the two? Undertaker all day.
Who's right here, guys?
Well, let me put it like this.
Right.
If you are drafting your professional wrestling squad for your company, you got the first round pick. You taking Shawn Michaels or you taking Undertaker?
Do I have to pick from those two? I wouldn't take either of them.
You wouldn't take either?
No, is Brock there? Is The Rock there? I'm gonna take those
Okay,
guys
fair.
first.
But no,
First?
this is your choice.
Okay.
Taker or the Heartbreak Kid. Your first round pick for your wrestling franchise.
My favorite wrestler is The Undertaker. I'm taking HBK.
Blasphemy.
I'm taking.
Who's right? Who's wrong? Put it in the comments and let's hear your thoughts.
Y'all better agree with me, or I will delete every last one of you.
Got it.
All right, we've done it again, P.
One more again.
One more again. Happy February.
Don't get caught up in any of that Valentine's Day.
Well, that's next week. We'll see what we got in
I'm
store.
trying to give them a heads up before then.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna give you some real advice right now. This real talk. If you are a good man to your woman, you take her out for dinner for no reason. You bring her flowers all the time for no reason. You buy her gifts just because. Because, baby, I saw these earrings. I thought they looked great on you. I want you to have them. If you're this kind of man that you say, hey, baby, let's go for a walk today, just holding hands and going to concert. If you just do things for your woman because that's your woman and you love spending time with her, and she's mad at you or gives you an attitude because you didn't take her out for dinner on Valentine's Day, you didn't get her chocolates and flowers on Valentine's Day, fire her. That's my advice to you. Fire her. If you're doing stuff all the time, if she was a good woman, she'd be like, nah, baby, you don't have to. Who cares about it? Let's just stay in tonight, honey. We don't do crowded restaurants and all of that. Let's just stay in and find other things to do with those chocolates.
What? Other things to do with the chocolates?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. That's the kind of women I like anyway.
Right up.
That's my take. That's Valentine's Day. Hey, man, we're done.
Yeah. We'll see you guys next week. I'll have some decorations. Don't worry.
This guy. See you, Space Cowboy.
I just lay back in something new. Whiskey 21 and over, low ball. Make it too neat. Dizzer from Harlem. Yeah, I'm from Houston, off of Fondren. Mike Mazan and real world flow. Plant these seeds in the streets and in weeks. Watch it blossom. Dark night, riding on chrome, swinging through Gotham. It's me and P, repaving these.